Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode. Today I'm going to show you how I made a terrarium for orchids. This is part one of a two-part series, and in this one I'm going to show you how to make a wabikusa background, substrate for the terrarium, and then we'll finish by decorating it with the hardscape. What you're going to need is cat litter, aqua soil, and fine coconut fiber substrate, and we're going to mix them together to create wabikusa, which is a Japanese form of aquatic substrate that is often molded into a ball, and you can use this to plant aquatic, semi-aquatic, or terrestrial plants. I think this is a great topic to discuss in more detail on a separate video, so make sure you check out my main channel, Earth's Amazing Wildlife, for that upload. Now we're going to take a closer look at each ingredient. So first off, we have cat litter. So this is the brand I'm using, Dr. Elsie's, because it was the only one I could find with no chemicals. Make sure it just says pure clay. You don't want to add anything else because that will seriously harm your terrarium. The next thing I have here is aqua soil. I'm using Fluval Stratum because I've used this brand before and had really good results. I also got the 8.8 pound bag because I can use it for other things. They do sell ones that are not as big. The next thing I'm going to be using is coconut fiber substrate, and I just got this at my local pet store. So, let's make the wabikusa. I will be using 1 part cocoa fiber and 1 part cat litter. And 3 parts of aqua soil. I'm going to mix the cat litter with the aqua soil and add some water, and then add the coconut fiber. So depending on how much water you add, it's going to become very wet if you add too much. And this is what I ended up doing because I added an entire water bottle. It's also a good time to mention that this and the soil mix are actually not my blends. I got the recipes from Serpa Design, and I trust his methods as he's perfected them over many years, so make sure to check out his channel. Now we have to prepare the terrarium. What I'm going to use is a glass pencil to mark the outside of the glass. I did it from the bottom notch to the top rim. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. You can do it halfway across depending on the type of background hardscape you have, but I ended up doing it 1/3 of the way. So here is a close-up of the lines. It is finally time to put on the background. Let's put the wabikusa mix off to the side where you can easily reach it. Then we'll grab the terrarium and lay it on its side. Next, get a substantial amount of mix and just press it into the glass. It's probably a good idea to start a bit smaller though. I ended up using a little bit big of a chunk in this one and I had to take it out. So this is all you have to do for now. The mix works like clay and you can mold or shape it however you want. This mix sticks very well to the glass and it is my first time doing that, so I was surprised by that. So I'm very pleased with the results. My only complaint is that it's very messy, so be prepared. But what's the fun if you don't get dirty sometimes? All right, This is what I have so far. Here's a closer look at what I've done. You can really see the texturing in this clip. So all of this is centered around a piece of mapani wood that I found at the pet store. I have the background finished for now, so I'm going to place and set this piece of mapani wood. I did this so I can work around it. I had to make some modifications for it to fit in the terrarium, including sanding and cutting a piece off. I think I put those in the final product though. So far, this looks good. Just press it into the background to make it stable, because otherwise it will move around and you don't want that. Here is a closer view of what this looks like. I hope you can see it through the glare. I don't have a proper filming studio, so it just kind of is what it is. Okay, so this is where you blend the two elements together. I did that on both sides to achieve a more cohesive look, and I'm going to fill in this area. You can really see the texture and detail. Now let's clean off the glass, and there's the final background. Okay, so now here is a view from all sides. And I'm going to remove this hair. There is a really cool crevice on this side where I can put a plant, and I'm going to do that in part 2. Okay, so I will see you when it's time to prepare the false bottom. For the false bottom, I'm going to be using some broken clay pots and some fly screen mesh. Now, normally I would use black lava rocks for the drainage layer, but this is all I had, so I just crushed them up with a hammer. Let's get these rinsed off and added. So I'm just going to add a small layer to the bottom of the jar, about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. Then we'll add the fly screen mesh to the top of this, and with a little bit of cheesy editing, this is the final result. Now let's mix the substrate. These are the things that you're going to need for this part of the build. And the hardest part of building the terrarium was actually dropping in the substrate. And I forgot to add bark in this video. It will be fixed in part 2 though. I also sloped it up in the back with my fan brush, and I had to use a spoon taped to a wire to put the substrate in the back cave. Luckily, I devised a pretty good method that helped me a lot. And with some cheesy film magic, it's done. Let me show you around. You also may have noticed the extra twigs. I think they add a bit of an extra point of interest to this build. It was really fun working on this project with y'all, and I hope you stuck around till the end. That's gonna be it for this one. I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for part 2, where I show you how to plant the terrarium, and then we'll take a look at the various orchids that I'm gonna add in here. At the start of this video, I mentioned how you could be pinned in the next one. All you have to do is comment your favorite part of the video, leave a green check next to your comments to let me know that you watched the whole thing, and share with 5 of your friends. And I'll pick one lucky person to be pinned in the next video.